As part of the orchestrated plan, we allege that 16 Michigan residents met covertly in the basement of Michigan GOP headquarters and knowingly and of their own volition signed their names to multiple certificates stating that they were the duly elected and qualified electors for President and Vice President of the United States of America for the state of Michigan. That was a lie. They weren't the duly elected and qualified electors, and each of the defendants knew it. They carried out these actions with the hope and belief that the electoral votes of Michigan's 2020 election would be awarded to the candidate of their choosing instead of the candidate that Michigan voters actually chose.
This is Michael Popok, Legal AF, with breaking news. Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel has figured out a way to thread the needle, stay away from the federal prosecution of Donald Trump and the fake electors and all that goes into a conspiracy, yet bring to justice 16 members of the Michigan GOP Republican Party who met in a basement and signed fraudulent certificates of election as electors, which they weren't, to try to give the election to their candidate of choice, Donald Trump, and away from what the Michigan voters wanted, which was, of course, President Joe Biden. And now they've been brought to justice by Dana Nessel, who, with the permission of a magistrate judge in Ingham County, has indicted 16 of these fake electors. They've gotten hit with felony charges under Michigan state law that range in possible prison sentences from 5 to 14 years. And this was a very artful way for the Michigan Attorney General, who sits under the Michigan Governor, Gretchen Whitmer, remember, herself the victim of a kidnapping plot and conspiracy. I don't know what's going on in Michigan, but or what's in the water there. But this was a one of the many fake elector scandals that happened in 7 battleground states. And Michigan and its flinty attorney general is not taking it lying down. Now, look, she made her referral, as many other attorney generals did, to Jack Smith. Ultimately went to Jack Smith, but it was to Merrick Garland originally, saying, hey, we got these fake electors, right, who tried to meet clandestinely and sign with wax seals and feather quill pens, some sort of phony elector certificates, and try to throw sand in the gears of democracy. What do you want to do about it? We're either going to go after them ourselves criminally for all of the Michigan and state law crimes they committed, or Jack Smith, you're going to do it. And now, watching 9 months of Jack Smith indicting for Mar-a-Lago Donald Trump, about to indict, because we got the announcement on the same day, within hours, of Dana Nessel taking the podium. We have the information that, of course, Jack Smith sent a target letter to Donald Trump that he's about to indict Donald Trump a second time, this time in the District of Columbia, for, we imagine, part of that indictment is going to be about fake electors. So how did Dana Nessel both come up with a robust, muscular, state-based approach and get out of the way of Jack Smith and possible preemption or bigfooting by the federal prosecutors of her case, and yet look Michiganders in the eye and say, I'm doing right by you as the top lawyer, top cop in Michigan? She indicts. And she indicts just the fake electors. She doesn't make it a broader conspiracy, though she could have, and brought in everybody else, including Donald Trump and John Eastman and Rudy Giuliani and everybody else. She didn't do that. She focused uniquely on just her citizens, her residents of Michigan, and brought a count or so against each one of them. And that's the way she can maintain her own case. At the same time, Jack Smith goes after Donald Trump and the others. In the other states, this could be a model for the other states. We're seeing, for instance, in Arizona, the attorney general doing about the same thing. She's just further behind. She's not ready to indict. She's developing her evidence. But I expect now, based on Dana Nessel breaking that glass ceiling of prosecutors, state prosecutors, others will do the same thing, because they'll say it can be plus, it can be 2. It doesn't have to be, well, we have to wait to see what the feds do about our own criminals in our own midst. We can do it too. I think this is going to be a real blueprint and a road model, and hats off to Dana Nessel, the Attorney General Nessel, for doing that. Let me just give, because it's important for transparency, who we're talking about and what we're talking about on this hot take, on this explainer. My old mattress would overheat while my partner and I were laying in it together, making for a terrible night's sleep. I'm so excited to say that this episode is brought to you by 8 Sleep. Summer is reaching its apex, and there's nothing worse than tossing, turning, or sweating in the night because of summer heat. The pod cover by 8 Sleep will keep you cool all night, all the way down to 55 degrees Fahrenheit, so you wake up fully refreshed. The pod cover by 8 Sleep fits on any bed like a fitted sheet. The pod cover will improve your sleep by automatically adjusting the temperature on each side of the bed based on your and your partner's individual needs. It can cool down and warm up and adjust based on the phases of your sleep and the environment that you're in. I love 8 Sleep because we spend almost half our lives in bed, so improving our sleep routine, habits, and overall sleep quality should be a priority for everyone. I love the temperature control and that my partner and I can set our side to each of our likings. I also love the gentle vibrating alarm each morning. I wake up feeling refreshed after a great night's sleep, allowing me to start the day off right. 8 Sleep's technology is incredible. While temperature is the biggest game changer, the pod cover has other amazing features. For example, thanks to the pod's sleep and health tracking, you can wake up to a personalized sleep report for each morning that offers insights on how certain behaviors, like late night exercise or caffeine, impact your sleep and overall health. The pod cover by 8 Sleep truly provides the ultimate sleep experience. I've never experienced sleep like this. And the pod's cooling technology has been a lifesaver this summer. Invest in the rest you deserve with the 8 Sleep pod. Go to 8sleep.com/legalaf and save $150 on the pod cover. That's the best offer you'll find, but you must visit 8sleep.com/legalaf for $150 off. Stay cool this summer with 8 Sleep. Now shipping within the US, Canada, the UK, select countries in the EU, and Australia. Let's do the who first, then the what, and then I'll tell you that even the leadership in the State House of Michigan, even the leadership in the State House, the Speaker of the House for Michigan, right, and also the Majority Leader for Michigan, went in November 20th of that year to the White House to meet with Donald Trump, and they came away and issued a press statement that said, we met with the president, but we didn't really see anything that indicates that this wasn't a fair election or that anything was unfair about Michigan or that its votes should go somewhere else. Well, apparently 16 people that met in the basement of the GOP headquarters, and you can't make this stuff up, thought otherwise. They thought there was a way to steal the election from Joe Biden and undercut the will of the people in their own state and hand deliver the presidency to the person that they wanted, not the people that Michigan people wanted. But even the leadership in the State House thought that was crazy, but it wasn't crazy enough for these people. Who are these people? Well, let's just run it down. Kathy Bearden, age 70. Hank Choate, 72. Amy Facinello, 55, Clifford Frost, 75, Stanley Grott, 71, John Haggard, 82, Mary Ann Henry, 65, Tim King, 56. I'm reading out their ages so you know these aren't children. These people know better. These are, 50, 60, 70, and 80-year-olds in the state of Michigan. Michelle Lundgren, 73, Michonne Maddock, 55, James Renner, 76, Myra Rodriguez, 64, Rose Rook, 81, Marianne Sheridan, 69, Ken Thompson, 68, Kent Vanderwood, 69. And of the 16 I just mentioned, 2 in particular, Kathy Bearden is on the Republican National Committee and is close friends with its chairperson, Ronna McDaniel, Mitt Romney's niece, and Michonne Maddock, former co-chair of the Michigan GOP. You have been indicted by your attorney general, and here is the indictment. Everybody gets the same swag bag from the attorney general Nessel. Everybody gets, that I just listed, 1 count of conspiracy to commit forgery, which is a 14-year possible felony, 2 counts of forgery, a 14-year felony, 1 count of conspiracy to commit uttering and publishing, usually means a false statement, a 14-year felony, 1 count of uttering and publishing a false statement, another 14-year felony, 1 count of conspiracy to commit election law forgery, a 5-year felony, and 2 counts of election law forgery, a 5-year felony. And the Attorney General's office, we've heard her statement at the top of this hot take of Attorney General Nessel, but they went on to say in a written press statement that the false electors' actions undermine the public's faith in the integrity of our elections, and we believe also plainly violated the laws by which we administer our elections in Michigan. My department, meaning the Attorney General of Michigan's department, has prosecuted numerous cases of election law violations throughout my tenure, and it would be malfeasance for the greatest magnitude if my department failed to act here in the face of overwhelming evidence of an organized effort to circumvent the lawfully cast ballots of millions of Michigan voters in a presidential election. Couldn't have said it any better than Attorney General Nessel. I don't think this is going to be the end. I think this is the blueprint all attorney generals in the battleground states can use to both establish their own territory, get their own piece of turf and real estate to go after their citizens involved in the fake electors and kind of stay away from this sprawling, more conspiracy-oriented set of charges and indictments brought by either Jack Smith, which would include Donald Trump, and or Phony Willis, the Fulton County DA, who is also looking at places like Michigan and as part of her conspiracy. But this is a perfect thread the needle, right? This is putting a camel through the eye of a needle in the form of let's just go after our state's bad people, alleged bad people, and we'll do that, and we'll stay away from Jack Smith's prosecution, and we can live harmoniously side by side as parallel prosecutors. And that's what attorney generals who are the top prosecutors for each state can do if you do it the way that Attorney General Nessel did. I'll follow on breaking news and otherwise an analysis, developments just like this one at the intersection of U.S. law and politics here only on the MeidasTouch network. I do hot takes like this about every day. I got about 250 of them sitting in a library on the MeidasTouch network YouTube channel under playlists. Click over a few tabs. You'll find a whole set of playlists for all content creators, including me, Michael Popok. I co-anchor and co-founded on the MeidasTouch network Legal AF on Wednesdays and Saturdays, a long format podcast just like this one, except I do it with a co-anchor. And we cultivate all the best stories and curate the best stories for you from the week and deliver them to you there. You can get it on audio on all the platforms that you get your podcasts from. You can follow me, Michael Popok, on all things social media, including now Threads, at MS Popok. This is Michael Popok, Legal AF reporting.
Hey Meidas Mighty, love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram at MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.